Welcome to the Wagas Innovation Talks. This podcast offers you an insight into recent innovations in the tech business, driven by research and industry insight. We are talking to researchers and professionals to share their expertise, experience, and projects with us. As a think tank and accelerator, we support tech startups and corporations in growing their business. We believe innovation is key to growth and hope to shine light on academic research and experts with real-life industry experience. To learn more, visit wagas-group.com and find all our podcast episodes plus articles and resources to expand your horizon on tech innovations. My name is Livia van Herde, Marketing and Sales Manager at Wagas, and today we had the great honor to welcome Maggie Liu on the podcast. Maggie has worked at the Shenzhen Municipal Bureau of Trade and Industry, Science and Technology Innovation Commission, and other departments. She has over 15 years of experience in high-tech innovation and entrepreneurship, as well as business incubation. Since joining the Tianan Cyberpunk Group in 2017, she has thought outside of the box and beyond the traditional industrial real estate development by creating the Tianan Innovation and Development Department. She established an innovation and development business system and organizational structure throughout the group and formed a team of more than 60 people for the innovation and development team. Today, Maggie is the director of the Innovation and Development Department of Tianan Cyberpunk Group. Welcome, Maggie. It's such an honor to have you on the podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maggie, the Director of Innovation Promotion Department of Tianan Cyberpunk Group. I'm so glad to be invited to Wagas podcast program and share with you all the information and experience about our group.
Today's episode is about innovation trends in China, international collaboration opportunities, high-tech breakthroughs, and lessons learned from the pandemic. First of all, can you give us an overview of what Tianan Cyberpunk is?
Tianan Cyberpunk Group is a leading company of industrial park development and management. In 1990, Tianan Cyberpunk Group was established in Shenzhen, the most innovative city in China. It has 20 million square meters operating area within 23 cyberparks in 16 cities all over China. In the past 31 years, we have served more than 10,000 innovative enterprises, among them more than 90 listed companies. It is China's most competitive science tech industrial park group and a member of the International Association of Science Park. Since there are so many enterprises settled in our cyberparks, we have attached great importance to providing various services to those innovative enterprises in our cyberparks, and tried hard to build an innovative enterprise ecosystem for them so as to help them grow faster, bigger, along with our own growth. Besides some basic services as company registration and office management, etc., there are 5 major sectors of our services concerning innovation development, including IPR, high-tech matchmaking, R&D cooperation, SME incubation, and international exchange and cooperation. In a word, we are a solution provider of innovation development for enterprises in our cyberparks. Along with the increasing communication and cooperation with overseas organizations in many countries, we are now providing cross-border incubation services for foreign companies who plan to explore the Chinese market or expand their business here. We provide those services mentioned above to help them adapt to the new market environment and obtain new business opportunities.
You are the director of the Innovation and Development Department of Tianan Cyberpunk in Shenzhen, China, and you have many years of experience in innovation and incubation and innovative thinking overall. From your perspective, during this pandemic, what are the strengths of the innovation ecosystem in the Chinese market?
The first advantage is that China's complete supply chain system has become a great support to its sustainable economic growth and innovation. At the beginning of pandemic outbreak in the last year, the demand for medical protective equipment had grown rapidly and the output was severely insufficient. A large number of manufacturing companies have completed the transformation of their production lines in a very short time, like 2 to 3 weeks, and switched to manufacturing pandemic prevention materials. BYD is the typical example. It is a manufacturer of new energy vehicles, which transferred to produce masks during the outbreak season of pandemic within a month. These stories indicate that China's strong and complete supply chain system, as well as the hard work of Chinese workers, make us respond to sudden changes in demand. The second one is that Chinese innovative enterprises have been active and vigorous. They have continuously strengthened their technological innovation in recent years and played an active role in the market during the pandemic. In China, the pandemic has created many new jobs, new technologies, new lifestyles, and even new business modes. Diversified online technologies, products, and services have emerged to help individuals and companies to break through the pandemic blockade and resume work quickly and smoothly, which has become another important support for the effective operation of the social economy. The third one is that China's domestic market is huge and the diversified demands are amazing. Under the situation of a global pandemic, enlarging the domestic market becomes very important for economic recovery and the stable economic development of our country. It cannot only meet people's growing needs for a better life, but also make rooms for industrial upgrading and market expansion.
Thank you for this overview. What do you say are the main pivots that you have seen during this pandemic? And what are the new trends and needs?
During the pandemic, we can see enterprises and institutions in our country are providing online services driven by technologies. A large number of enterprises are focusing on big data and AI. Emerging technologies are being deeply integrated into the industry. These are the innovation trends we can see everywhere in China. I'd like to make some examples. First, during the pandemic, almost all the enterprises, even the most traditional ones, are eager to catch up with digitization and expand online business. They have attached more importance to the information security and industrial interconnection brought by big data. It is believed that the big data online ecosystem will further cultivate user habits and promote the digitization of enterprises. Second, life economy is popularized. Take our own as an example. During the pandemic, Tianan Cyberpunk Group established an online live broadcast platform to carry out some internal training or open training courses and forums online. We also built a new online e-commerce platform and another T-fashion platform, with which we could use live broadcast to help member companies and partners attract more consumers and boost their online sales. Third, the application of AI in many fields is also a new trend to meet the needs of the masses, such as AI plus education, AI plus medical care, and so on. As early as a few years ago, medical AI was considered the fundamental way to solve medical productivity in the future. The pandemic has accelerated the digital upgrade and hospitals and medical care centers to benefit the society. In addition, with the escalation of the Sino-US trade war, China's domestic IC industry has an explosive growth. In conclusion, I believe that after this pandemic, the world will usher in a climax of digitalization.
I'm curious, in regards to international collaboration with the Chinese market, what are the new opportunities emerging? What do you say?
The accumulated value of international transactions at the China International Import-Expo in 2020 has climbed to $71 billion, an increase of more than 23%. These numbers have shown Chinese opportunities to countries around the world. During the pandemic, port closures and large-scale production suspensions made international trade quite difficult. For many multinational companies, their operations and production have suffered seriously. At this time, the global economy is still full of uncertain risks. The Chinese market, which is the first to recover, will certainly be attached great importance throughout the world. Our President Xi Jinping once proposed that the country must expand domestic demand and increase imports of foreign products, which is of strategic significance of China. Under the circumstances, more and more multinational companies are introducing excellent products and services in China and domestically cooperating with innovative companies in China. During the global pandemic, travel have been suspended. Online import consumption has accelerated, and getting opportunities in the Chinese import market is vital for global brands. Tianan Cyberpunk Group has made it easier for global brands to enter China by building our own e-commerce platform, promoting the incubation and online sales of overseas brands and products. At the same time, our group and the Wagas group cooperated for cross-border innovation and incubation business, introduced overseas innovative companies to Shenzhen and other countries in China, and jointly help outstanding overseas companies achieve cross-border incubation, resource matchmaking, and expand the Chinese market more smoothly. I believe that no country or company can handle the challenges brought by the pandemic on its own. We need to build an open ecosystem to achieve win-win development. This is also the benefit that Tianan Cyberpunk Group has always adhered to.
Now, if you had to name 3 big tech platforms with the highest growth rate in the future in China, what are they?
The first is the digital twin. Digital twin technology will gradually be applied to the entire life cycle of the product, including product design, process planning, and precise logistic distribution, and intelligent equipment control, human-computer interaction, quality analysis, and failure prediction, and many aspects. And will have important application in space communication networks, ships, vehicles, power plants, aircrafts, smart cities, medical care, and other industries in the future. The second is artificial intelligence. AI has broad prospects and can be used to improve medical care environments, safety and education, and enhance people's livelihood and well-being. Driven by many Chinese technology giants, China has become one of the centers of global AI development. The large population and complete industrial infrastructure provide China with the potential to create massive amounts of data and a very large market of AI application. The McKinsey Global Institute report pointed out that depending on the speed of application and the productivity of AI-based automation can contribute 0.8 to 1.4 percentage points to China's economic growth each year. The third is the Internet of Things. Even with many difficulties, China's IoT industry still remains huge competitiveness. In addition to rich production experience and low manufacturing costs, China IoT companies have at least two opportunities to catch up with global competitors. One is the leading narrowband IoT industry standard, and the other is the global AI industry leading position. In addition, the 5G era also provides great opportunities for the development of the IoT. In China, there will be great amounts of the future application scenarios of the IoT, which leads to a lot of imagination.
Unfortunately, this is our last question now. How did Tianan Cyberpunk Group address the pandemic to make their ecosystem run as usual as an innovation operator?
As a company, Tianan Cyberpunk Group is just the miniature of the whole economy in China. In order to adapt to the big changes brought by the pandemic, we follow the mainstream of technology upgrade to apply more AI-related technologies in different scenarios of industrial park management. iSpace, an intelligent platform developed by our group based on sensors, IoT technology, and integrated positioning technology, can strengthen the park's prevention and control of the pandemic and help enterprises to resume work and production smoothly. The overall data acquisition for pandemic prevention and control and scientific management indicators have been formulated to effectively reduce the risk of pandemic transmission and ensure the operation of the park and the safety of employees. The second is to intensively improve services, gather scales, resources enterprises need the most, and provide services from the two aspects of solving enterprises' basic problems and core problems. We coordinate the operation and management of the park and provide rental reduction for companies settled in the park to reduce their financial burden during the pandemic. In addition, we have built service platforms for innovation and development to provide enterprises with customized solutions in terms of intellectual property protection, investment and financing, and technology matchmaking services, etc., which I mentioned at the very beginning. The third is to explore the integration of technology and fashion. We have launched the T-Fashion Space project, providing solutions for consumer-related enterprises, both in high-tech and fashion industries, together with various contributing partners. On this platform, we hope to help targeting enterprises obtain competitiveness in the fields of branding, IP protection, the stylish design, the industry supply chain of manufacturing, new online marketing methods, etc. All in all, During the pandemic, Tianan Cyberpunk Group has been committed to gathering multiple resources and providing scenario-oriented solutions to entrepreneurs in order to realize our mission of growing together with enterprises.
We've reached the end of our podcast episode. Thank you so much for your time and insight, Maggie. You can read more at wagas-group.com. This has been your Innovation Talks podcast produced by Livia van Herde. Make sure to check back next month for the latest insight in innovation.